Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today's video will be another episode of Once Until I Lose, where I break down and analyze some high level duels I have in Battlefront 2 in the hopes that you guys can learn from it. With that being said, let's get into the first games. For our first game, we have a Luke vs Dooku matchup. Most people will say Dooku wins this matchup, and that's because his damage is very devastating to Luke's low health regen. As you can see that after I got hit by that stun, and only got hit for one hit, I'm only regenerating to 650 health, so he only needs to do that a couple more times to deal some permanent damage that's very deadly to Luke. I did get a nice combo off that repulse, but I'm not being able to capitalize on any more damage since I missed the push and pretty much everything else, so now he's able to regen his health. I parried that hook swing attempt there, which allowed me to get a bit more pressure, but I'm not getting any more damage, and he hit me twice there, so I have to be careful not to get hit per third, otherwise I'll regen to not much health. I missed the repulse, but he's too slow to punish it, and here I go for a parry combo, but I didn't have enough stamina to continue lunging, which is a shame because I could have gotten some really good damage. Combos are great for Luke because as well as doing a lot of damage, it increases his Intensify card, which you should definitely be running. Okay, so that one hit did like nearly 200 damage, so I just backed off there for a second to regenerate, and then I got the repulse, but I didn't get any lunges. My lunges have been a bit off this game, but this was my first game of the day, if memory serves correctly. There I get a trade, and then I parry, and then I get another parry, although unfortunately the parry doesn't double parry. If that did, that would have been really devastating because he would have been on one tap, but here I'm just trying to keep up the pressure. The epicenter doesn't hit, but it does drain his stamina, so now I'm going for a bit of spam just to get some more hits, and again build that Intensify. I get one of those angle hits where he dodges through me, so now he's low, and here I'm going for some sort of hook swing or something to finish the duel, but I don't get it, and now he's regenning again. He cancels the parry with the animation cancel, but then I get a sneaky one behind his back, and I get the epicenter damage. He does get that stun and one combo though, which as you can see does a lot of damage to Luke, and I'm only regenerating to 419 health, so even just like a double parry with Duelist will kill me at this point, so I am playing a bit more carefully. But I get the double parry, and being careful of his hits, I get a nice lunge when I'm predicting his stun to finish the duel. Next we have a Maul vs Anakin matchup, which I think can go either way. If Maul manages to avoid Anakin's deadly combos, then he can overpressure him and win the duel, but if Anakin does land those combos, the damage is just so devastating. I am running massive strikes for this duel, so when I get the parry into passionate strike, you can see how much damage that does. Unfortunately I don't get the pull, so I'm just backing off to regen my health, and then I get a trade after I parry the spin attack, and then I parry the spin attack one more time, so even though he's running that card, that still did do quite a bit of damage. Again, one more trade, so he didn't get to regen his health, but then he throws me away so I can't pressure him anymore. I sort of just dodge back and forth a bit up there just to get my health back, and then I predict when he's going to saber throw, although I don't block it correctly. I'm going to release a video soon on how to block that saber throw thing, but here I get my distance wrong when I try and go for that punish, so that was annoying because I could have gotten to a very low health. I should have been closer to him when I did it, but that's fine. There I did that passionate because I was trying to predict when he used spin attack, but I was a bit too early. And here I get a pull and then heroic might and 2 hits, which is a pretty easy and not very flashy way to finish a duel against Maul. In game 3 we're versing Maul again, but this time as Yoda. I use my presence to nullify the choke, not really to get out of the choke, but more just to tank the damage afterwards. I could have waited a bit longer, but Yoda gets thrown pretty short from Maul's choke anyway, so it wouldn't have changed much. Here I get pretty unlucky because he trades that push and then he gets that weird hit afterwards, which is unfortunate, and I don't think it was intentional on his half, so I'm just going to regen my health and then see what I can do. Yoda's great though, because since he has that damage reduction and that bonus health, even after all that damage, I'm still regenning to only 40 or 50 health below his max. So I got a parry off his spin attack there, so now I'm just going to try and get some more damage stacked on. He trades that dash hit there, but it doesn't matter since I had leftover health from presence. And then I get that lunge and then one frame trap hit, which hurts Maul quite a bit. Any sort of small combo where you get one ability and one hit that you do to Maul is very deadly, and more deadly to him than most other heroes. And then if you can just go for trades and parries afterwards, or if you're Yoda, you can go for your unblockable dash, then that's very deadly. Okay, so I pretty much just kept parrying his spin attack and dashing him there, so now he's pretty low, and what I try and do to finish Maul is Yoda, since he's pretty hard to get with lunges, since he has a good block and he has good spin attacks. I try to predict when he's going to use his spin attack, and you can use jump attacks, because jump attacks have a pretty big hitbox, so as you can see the lunges aren't working very well, but here I start going to predict when he's going to spin attack by using jump attacks. You'll see me do that later. He already gets frame trapped, but he only gets one hit, and one hit after that. But again, that's fine, because I had the presence health and the damage reduction cut. So again, just regen my health and then try and predict what he's going to do. I did try and predict the spin attack there, but I was a bit too early. But I did get a parry afterwards, so yeah, I'm just going to try and keep pressure and stay close to him. I'd use the push after that, because I wouldn't have gotten a second hit with the second swing, because Yoda's swing animations are really short. And then yeah, I predicted the spin attack with the jump attack, like I said, to finish the duel. Next we have that Maul vs Anakin matchup again, but right off the bat I go for an angle and he double parries it straight away, which puts me down to 440 health, which is really annoying given that that's going to be 10 minus extra health for the rest of the game, but it's not too much, so we should be fine. I managed to use the choke after he uses Passionate Strike, because if you didn't know, when someone uses Passionate Strike, for about maybe a third of a second, they can't block at all, which is why you can get 2 hits off it when you trade it, or you can use an ability like that if you're quick enough. Here I'm keeping pressure because I know he's going to heroic might soon, and when he does I managed to get 2 hits, one when he's in the animation and then one when I parry it. That's something you can do to Anakin if you're fast enough, and it's not too precise because even I can do it with my higher ping. He's low stamina here, so I managed to catch him with the spin attack, but then I missed the saber throw. I could have just waited for him to dodge, but I didn't. I use spin attack to regen my stamina, and again, I get that hit while he's in heroic might, but then I forget to parry it after. Here I get a frame trap off his Passionate Strike, but I miss most of the combo, which is unfortunate since, as I say, this is now my second game on, so a combo like that probably won't be happening. I get a stagger with that delayed hit when he dodged through me, which I do have a video on, and then I'm now trying to go for some sort of finish since I punished the stagger with 1 hit. Well, as you can see, only like a parry and then like a heroic might, it's just stacked on to Maul does so much damage. Here I go for a parry and choke combo, but I wasn't quick enough so it didn't get it, but then he uses it as pull for some reason, so I catch it with the saber throw. Here I was about to end the duel with a hook swing, but then he catches me with the animation cancel, which is pretty smart on his part, using that as a defensive move. He tries to parry there, but I wait slightly longer than him, and then I go for the choke, more just to regen my stamina, since the choke wasn't very effective in that situation. I get another parry there, which was pretty useful just to get him low so I can get him scared, and then I mistime the hit, but he completely chokes the punish, and then I get a nice finish with the saber throw prediction. So we have a Grievous vs ObiWan match here, and if you didn't see the last Once Until I Lose episode, we had this matchup come up a couple of times, so I explained how to deal with this matchup. You basically need to try and deal some damage after parrying him, and then you have to be really careful of his mind trick. Not his defensive rush or his other ability, but his mind trick is what's devastating, because when you're low stamina and you get mind tricked, there's nothing you can really do, and ObiWan has good lunges if you play him right. When he animation cancelled behind my Unrelenting Advance, that was really quick and I didn't manage to get out of that, so that's something to learn from this guy. You can punish Unrelenting Advance like against a good player that's going to cancel it with an animation cancel. But getting back to the game, he got a push there, and then I followed up that push with a claw rush, and then after the claw rush I managed to predict where he was going to go, and then I get one more hit after that with a nice angle, and then I got a hit when he's in mind trick, so sorry for catching up a bit, but here I got another stagger from claw rush, but I don't get the hit afterwards, so I'm going for a finish here. I was meant to use Thrust Surge, but I waited way too long, but that ended up working out because Thrust Surge is just like that, and I get the kill. So yeah, there wasn't really too much to learn from that duel. I sort of just got 4 hits in succession and then kept him low with the claw rush and finished him with a lucky Thrust Surge. Okay, here we have a Vader vs ObiWan match, which is an interesting one, given again that mind trick is pretty devastating to Vader, and the defensive rush can be a good option when Vader doesn't have his choke to regen stamina and health. Right off the bat, I waste my choke and my abilities, and then he gets a hit behind my back after already getting 2 parries. And then as you can see, low stamina, but he can keep up the pressure because of that defensive rush, which is very powerful. I miss the saber throw, and then he gets a nice push in the air, keeping me low, and then I go for some sort of lunge there, and I get a parry, although I don't get the second hit, and he trades that, taking most of the bonus health off. I do get the saber throw hit though, but I can't get any more damage in since he uses mind trick and defensive rush, and then he pushes me over there, getting me down to almost 200 health. He gets a nice quick animation cancel there, but I do get a choke combo. I only go for 1 hit knowing he has defensive rush, but he manages to get the kill with it anyway since I wasted my dodges. So that was a good finish by him using the defensive rush after that. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you learned something new or just enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing for more Star Wars Battlefront 2 dueling content. And with that being said, have a great day, and I'll see you out on the battlefront.